Danny Cohen here. All right, Stars fans, here we go for a quick road trip to Florida to play first the Tampa Bay Lightning and then the Florida Panthers. Which, by the way, if you have not seen what transpired between those two teams, Tampa and Florida, in the preseason, you need to go check it out. So, the schedule makers, honestly, I think that they just stirred the pot with this one. They decided that they would have these two teams who don't like each other. They would have them play each other. I think they played each other in the playoffs last year too, but they don't like each other. They're in-state rivals, and they decided it'd be a good idea to just have them play three preseason games in a row against one another and just see what happens. And I'll tell you what happened was game number two. Well, game number one had a fight in it. Game number two had 186 penalty minutes, which is off the charts. Just fights and brawls and fights and brawls. And then the last game, Tampa Bay decided to call up six guys from the minor league who I guess they didn't care if they got suspensions. That game ended up having 322 penalty minutes. So a combined on the last two games, 500 penalty minutes for these two teams. You can just watch about 30 minutes of just straight violence between these teams, between the two highlight reels of just the physical play between those two teams. Go check that out. Thank me later. So the Stars go from one Russian badass in Alex Ovechkin to another in Nikita Kucherov here against the Lightning. He's got 10 points, 4 goals in 8 games played. The Stars have rattled off 3 in a row, and they did it against the Hurricanes, the Predators, and lastly the Caps. So the Lightning have also won 3 in a row against Anaheim, Vegas, and Nashville. So we got one common opponent there in Nashville, and I would say that we probably had a little bit better quality of competition in that run, but still, we got two teams that are coming in with some momentum going into this game. Dallas is 6-3-1 in the first 10 games. However, Dallas has not won by more than 1 goal, and I don't count that 5-2 win against Minnesota with 2 empty netters as winning by 3. So Dallas has not won by more than 1 goal. Our goal differential as of now is -1, which is on par with the number 5 worst team in the league with the New York Islanders. So, we're doing a lot of good things, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. We're hanging on with these injuries that we have right now. And so it's good to see us still managing to get wins, but we are scraping and clawing for those wins. So Tampa Bay is 4-4-2 in the first 10 games. Again, they've won their last 3, and very similar to us, Tampa Bay hasn't lost by more than 1 goal. So their record could be better. Our record could be worse. Theirs could be better. Tampa Bay does not have nearly the injury problems that we have had this year. They're missing only Nick Paul, where we are out Jamie Benn, who's got the collapsed lung that he suffered in the preseason, and he's still going to be out for another several weeks. Rupe Hintz, day to day, he got his block knocked off by a big hit. So did Matt Duchene, who's also day to day, and Oscar Beck. At the time of this recording, all of these players are day to day, with the exception of Jamie Benn, who's going to be out for a little while. And then we've got also Nils Lundqvist, who is on long term IR, and we're probably not going to expect him to be back on the ice for about a month. So their top line is pretty impressive. Gensel, Braden Point, and Nikita Kucherov. Then they've got on their second line, they're their two lines are pretty good. Hagel, Sorelli, and they got Curtis Douglas, the old 6'9" former star. I don't know what he is doing on the second line, but he's there. Then they've got Victor Hedman to contend with on the back end, a big 6'6" mobile, skilled defenseman. Um, they've got Vasilevsky in net, who has brought home a cup before. Great goalie. He had a 9.21 save percentage last year, though this year he's looking a little less than average at .893. So, um, he's an awesome goalie. I don't look at that number and expect that when you play him you're going to get that kind of goaltending out of him. You got to assume that you're going to get what will be a future Hall of Famer type of goaltending back there. So Dallas and Tampa have both got some mediocre offensive numbers as well as defensive numbers on the year. Pretty much a draw in terms of both goals for per game and goals against per game for these two teams. Dallas has got the number 3 power play at 31.4%, and Tampa's got a very respectable penalty kill going up against that at 88.2%. So then on the flip side of that, Tampa Bay has got the number 29th ranked power play at 14.3%, and our penalty kill is 25 at 71%. So Dallas here is going for 4 wins in a row, and with a win, we can catch the Jets if they lose to Chicago. So a lot of good things to look forward to if we can. It's always good when you hit that 4. Like, that's a real streak when you hit 4 in a row or more. So I'd love to see us do that. In order to do that, we're going to have to continue to get some good play. Our defense has been looking better. They played a really tight game against the Capitals in the last go around. We're going to need to see more of that in this game. I didn't see. Obviously, we shut them out. But the last several games, there just hasn't been as many of those defensive errors that we've seen. Haskinen's looked better. So, hopefully he can continue that upward trend. I'm sure that the knee is still not, where it was before. So, hopefully he's getting his legs under him, literally and figuratively. Leon Bischel had his most physical game of the year last game with 8 hits, and it was good to see that. He's been looking better. We had also a physical game out of both Adam Ernie, who had 5 hits, and Bastian. Bastian had 6 in the last game. So I'd like to see more of that out of this game. And I'll be coming to you with some more content here very shortly. So if you want to catch me in the meantime, I can be reached at The Foil Hockey. That's TheFoil Hockey at gmail.com.